Welcome to the Mess Hall, episode 2. It's me, Andrew Youngblood, and Jamie Rowan. Say hi. Look at that.
How's it going, everybody?
It feels. I still don't like intros. It feels fake.
Yeah, it
But
feels.
It's fine.
It's
It
fine.
is.
It is. We're just welcoming everyone, letting them know what this is. Yeah, it's
And
good.
fuck you if you didn't like that intro.
It was great. It was
I
beautiful.
think it was good. Second episode. Excited. I looked like a bum last time, so now I styling.
I know.
I'm going
Matching.
pink shirt, pink. I know. I did it.
It
It's
looks
a lot,
great.
and so that's for the people who watch.
Your
I
hair's
looked
done.
really. It was a little. I got a haircut today, not because of this,
Mhm.
but because I needed a haircut. But I did I was like, I do want to do it before we record again because I looked schlubby. I had a wrestling T-shirt on it, and I'm not judging anyone that wears wrestling T-shirts because I have one and I wore it, but I didn't. I just didn't like who I looked like in that video.
I don't
And so-
understand the appeal of wrestling. I don't want
That's
to
fun.
I don't
We
want
can-
to.
I'll let you know. The Rock is hot. There you go. No, that's not why.
It is super. It's a super straight man sport, but it's super gay.
I don't know about super straight man sport.
I feel like the gays aren't into wrestling. It's like straight dudes who are kind of.
I knew some gays who were into wrestling. I also know a comic named Michael Day, and he's pretty gay. And he's in
Shout out to Michael. I love Michael.
He would, you know what? I was in Austin this last couple days ago. I was supposed to hang out with him, but he was at the Royal Rumble.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he literally drove to another city to go to a wrestling event, which I've done before. So I don't know if it's just a straight guy thing, but I think it is fun. It's like
I don't
it
know
is
what
a soap opera.
I don't know what appeals to straight men. That's the thing. It's not just a straight man thing, but I don't know what appeals to straight men, like the tight onesies and banana hammocks.
It's not that. I would say it is. It is like there's a storyline, first off, that goes for a very long time. There's tons of them. And so it's like a soap opera, but with like wrestling, and it's like a manly soap opera, I don't know. I don't really know. I can't defend it, like why it's. I don't know. I'm not like a tough guy, so when I watch it, I'm not like, we're men, yeah, that's not me. I'm like,
and
this
soap
is pretty
operas
gay.
aren't
Let's
like
keep
the
watching.
definition
But I don't
of
watch it, really.
manliness.
Yeah, I know. You're right. That's what I'm saying. I really have no defense for like this is such a manly thing.
Everybody, you
It's
do you though.
acting.
I'm all for it.
It's acting. It's fun. I like The Rock. I think it's funny. It's over the top. And
It's
that's
funny.
fun.
Yeah. If
It's
you're
campy.
Yes.
That's fun. I like campy.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you have to. What do you like that's stupid?
Oh, so many things. Humiliating things. I was watching The Bachelor before I came over
Yeah,
here.
see, that's shitty. There's a lot of those shitty shows.
There are shitty. There is a hierarchy of bullshit television though. So like I watch good. I know what shows I watch that are good shows that are. I'm rewatching Veep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I haven't watched it.
Are you
I
serious?
hear it's really good. I hear it's great. I
I'm
just haven't.
so jealous of you that you have this like gift. You get to watch it fresh. Like
If I ever watch it, there's so much TV out there.
No. You have to take the comedy. Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, she's great. No, you're right. I'm not like I know the cast. Like I know it's
Everyone
good.
on it is
Yeah,
great.
yeah, of course.
I feel like comics really make fun of me for this, but improv people, there's like I started
Yeah, I did
in improv.
I didn't start in improv, but I did it.
Well, they're amazing, like UCB people. It's such a good show. It's so well written. You have to watch it. But I watch so much shit television that's humiliating.
So what do you
And-
like? You got like The Bachelor. You got Fuckboy Island, probably. Can I guess
No.
the ones you watch?
Okay, guess what I think is actually a good reality television show.
What about there's one called The Proposal, or maybe not The Proposal. It's called
of
Ultimatum or
that.
something like that. Do you
No,
know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I
I watched
do.
all of that one. It's
Think
tough.
international.
Is that like there's like a hot one? It's the hot one where they can't have sex. It's like we're putting all you guys on an island and you're all super hot and you can win $10 million, but if you get horny and fuck, we're gonna take money out of the pot.
You're giving me ideas to watch more terrible television,
I
and you
forget
have
what
time
it's
to watch
called.
this shit, but you don't have time
No, I
to
don't
watch
watch this.
Veep.
This is I just picked this up from Netflix trailers. Like this is I watch Netflix trailers of everything, and then I go, well, that's the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen, and then I change it to the next thing.
But isn't it like it's campy in its own way? It's fun to watch. It's like
Yeah, I mean, it's like watching Jersey Shore. It's like, I like watching a disaster. These people suck. They're hot, but they suck, and that's fun.
yeah,
At
they're,
least
they're
hot
fun
people
to
don't have
hate.
everything.
It's fun to hate watch. It's fun to make fun of them for being stupid or like, oh, it's just. But 90 Day Fiance is actually good. It's fascinating. That's what
I
I
have
like.
not watched that one.
It's like it's real stories. People trying to get the visa. People. I don't know. I think it's great. That being said, I watch so much of the shit television too.
If someone was trying to get a visa, wouldn't they just get it taken away right away though? Because they're like, here's the proof you're not really getting married for love. You were just getting for the visa. You're on TV saying, I was just trying to get a visa.
No. They like.
Oh, they say that they
Yeah,
want to get married.
yeah.
Oh.
You can kind of tell who there are people who are in love. Like there are people who are young and they're like obviously attracted to each other and they met like there's a couple from Israel and they met on Birthright and they're like both super
Met on
hot and they're
Birthright.
in
What
love.
is that? Is that a dating app?
You
What
don't
is
know
it?
you're a terrible Jew for
I'm not
real.
really at all. My mom is, and that's it. I hate the only time I really celebrated Hanukkah. I threw a dreidel at the wall and said I did not want to be Jewish. I let it be known. Yeah, I hated it.
Don't admit that out loud.
I don't like any religion. One, back then I just didn't know anything. But and I was like an insecure kid, and South Park had just come out. It was a lot. I was like 12 and had my first pube coming in. It was a lot for me to be the only Jewish person all of a sudden that I knew and that all my friends knew. Plus, they called me Anju forever. I switched schools. I hated it that much.
I mean, where did you grew up in Texas?
No, this is upstate New York, which is rough.
What?
Upstate is very different than like New York. It's so different. Upstate New York, I would argue, is way more racist and shitty than anywhere here in Texas. It's bad. They're all on drugs. There was like, I remember in my class, there was like 2 black people and 1 Jewish person. I was the Jewish person. And that sucked. And I wasn't even really Jewish. That's the worst part about it is I got none of the perks. Like I didn't get like a bat mitzvah. I didn't get any of that. I didn't have like the culture. I didn't, any of that. I just was like, my mom's like, oh yeah, not only did we get divorced, but we're Jewish, so let's celebrate. And I was like, what the fuck are you trying to do to me right now? I'm just learning how to be cool.
I mean, I still think that Jews are like we're the not religious aspect, like the cultural aspect. We're smart. We got a lot of comedy. We're hardworking.
I'll take it all. I'll take all that stuff. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's like a 1/3 chance to becoming a millionaire. Like a Jewish people, that's like 1 out of 3 people are millionaires. I'll take that.
See?
I like it.
Listen, I think it's cool.
I mean, yes, okay. I'm sorry. I don't think. Good news is we don't really have an audience yet. Second of all, I don't think they're Jewish anyways, so that's okay.
Yeah, we probably don't have a lot of Jews listening.
Yeah,
But you're welcome.
yeah.
Jews, L'chaim.
She's team Jew. I'm team. I don't give a shit.
I'm team like Jew, but not the ones that are like
Acidic.
the crazy Brooklyn. Doing like
Let 'em-
shows out in Bushwick. It was
Yeah.
crazy driving through those neighborhoods. Like
yeah, no, that's nuts.
it is the
fun,
Orthodox Jews are arguably the craziest, intense Jews. We need to move on from the Jew conversation. What'd you do this past week? Let's talk about our weeks. Let's talk about our messes because I feel like that's kind of what this podcast is about.
Went to Austin, did some shows. I was supposed to do 3. I only did 2, and because I just wanted to hang out with friends. I dropped off the last one. In fairness, the promoter really fucked it up, right? I got there, the show's not going that well. I told him I was running a little bit late, and I might miss my spot, but just give him a heads up, like, hey, I might be running a little bit late. He read that text as not making the show. And so I go to the show, and I've been replaced on the show. And then he's like, you could tell that he was like, oh, no, well, I'll get you up. He was like, I'll get you up. I go, hey, man, it's not a big deal. I already did 2 good shows. And in my head, I saw what that show was, and I was like, why the fuck do I want to do a shitty show? Like, that's my brain. And he's like thinking I'm mad about it, and I'm too much of a pussy to really like convey, like, I don't want to do the show. I go, no, man, it's fine. I promise you'll just get me next time. And he's like, dude, it's okay. And we just go back and forth like two idiots that can't communicate well. And then finally he puts me on the show. He goes, cool, man, why don't you just close it out? And it's a midnight show, and there's 80 people on it. And so I'm like doing the math. He goes, everyone's doing 8. You can close it out. And I go, I'm getting up at like 1:56. I'm like, I can't even do 8 if I wanted to. And also, who wants to go up at 1:56 a.m. on 6th Street in Austin? I don't want to do that shit. And so after a while of me pacing back and forth, I finally get the guts up to just be like, the promoters in the other room, and there's other comics in there, and they know I don't want to do it. And I just stand up. I go, guys, I'm not doing this show. I'm out of here.
Hell yeah.
And I walk out, and then I was just going to sneak out and text him, be like, hey, man, I had to bail.
Oh, you have to go up to him. Come on.
Well, he caught me on the stairs, and he goes, all right, man, you want to go up earlier? And I go, oh, fuck this. And I was like, I'm just going to go, man. I got to get out of here. So that's how I'm a mess. I can't fucking tell anybody anything. And then I hung out at the Creek and Cave for hours and got very drunk and had a good time. And
I'm still proud of you. You did say, I'm not doing this shit. It's like freedom.
Yeah, but I only did it because he caught me walking out the door. Like, it was going to look pretty shitty if I didn't say something at that point. If I was going to be like, yeah, I'll see you when my sets go, and then I just take off. That's it.
I will say, as comics, I feel like we expect so little from people who produce comedy shows. There are some people who produce great shows out there, but majority are like unreliable messes themselves.
Yeah.
So when somebody produces a good show, it's like the best. It's the best thing in the world. I'm so grateful. But then when they don't, I don't know. I always try to think in situations like that of like worst case scenario. That sounds negative, but it's actually super positive because I'm like, what's the worst that can happen if I like set this boundary or whatever, or I say I don't want to do something?
You'll never work in this town again.
That's not going
to happen.
We only think that because we all think, especially like comics, we think we're the center of the universe. Like nobody gives a fuck. They're just like,
we all can't be the center of the universe.
Yeah, I mean,
we
Oh God.
Sorry.
You're gonna definitely work with that guy again, and you're gonna like apologize for that,
sure.
and he's gonna be like, "What?"
I won't apologize to that guy. He was just the fill-in. So that's the thing, is the fill-in was kind of fucking up the show because I think he was worried because the guy who booked me on the show is a friend, and a good comic. His name's Tony Casillas. Great comic. You should check him out.
Great comic. Yeah,
love him to death. He's the one who put me on the show. He's like, "Hey, I'm out of town. I wish I could be there." And then, he's like, here's a lineup. So-and-so is going to run it. I won't say who so-and-so is. I don't even remember his fucking name, so it doesn't matter. And then I get there, and the paper's like 12 different names added, and people are grabbing this poor guy and be like, can I get a spot? And I don't think he runs shows regularly, so he was like, yeah. Just like giving out spots to all these people. And like, so he's kind of being rolled over, I think. And I kind of rolled him over too. And I was like, I'm out. Bye. But
when you put 20,000 people on the lineup.
There were so many people on the show. I think I helped it out, and no one was, when I was there, 3 people went up and no one did well. And they were like good people. Like, I went in, some guy was on stage. I forget his name, but I could tell he was good. And they just weren't having it. Grace went up. She was not getting it. And then Trey Tutson went up and Trey wasn't getting it. And I was like, well, we're in trouble here. This is going to suck. And, when the 3 of them don't get it, not saying I can't turn the room, done it 100 times, but it was 2 a.m. I didn't want to fucking do it. I was like, I'd rather just go get hammered with friends.
Okay. Well, I was in Tampa. I went to Tampa.
Oh yeah, you went to a pirate thing. What was it called? It was a pirate party?
There's only so much.
What is that?
There's only so much time in the world. Well, I feel like the craziness of my week started actually last week when I misgendered your cat, and it freaked out on me. And then I agreed months and months ago. Do you ever agree to do something like months earlier and then you are very strongly regretting it when it comes to that moment?
Yep.
So I agreed a friend had moved to Tampa, Florida, and was so excited to show us a great time in Tampa and was like, come for this festival. And I just heard festival and I was like, okay.
You didn't hear the Pirate Festival.
They didn't even say that. They just said it's called Gasparilla. And I was like, sure, that sounds fun. And it's about the friend, whatever. I'm going to go support these friends, right? Hang out with them. So it's a pirate festival, and it's really my husband's friend. Like, so when you're married, you'll have friends that are like
friends of the two.
Yeah,
of you,
where you just are like, it's not great. Yeah. And really the friendship between your person and their friend is strong. And then you have to like make awkward conversation on double dates with like a dead-eyed wife that you don't want to talk to.
God, I hope they listen to this.
I'm not talking about anyone specifically. Oh God. But we went to Tampa, and Tampa is better than I expected generally. Tampa is this weird mix of like beautiful women, like naturally
Very
beautiful women.
A lot of Hispanic women there.
Yes, apparently great strip clubs.
Been to a ton.
But then all the men seem to be like these 60-year-old men that are like a mix, at least at the Pirate Festival. They're like a mix between like Jimmy Buffett type dude, like somebody who listens to the Margaritaville, a Jimmy Buffett fan, and like a biker gang had a baby. That's like the
That's
vibe.
kind of all of Florida, though, in general.
That is kind of all of Florida. But actually,
you ever been to Daytona Beach? That shit is trash.
I honestly don't ever need to go back to any of it again.
Yeah. Florida, I think, has
good comedy clubs.
Some good comedy clubs, good comedy fans, I think, in my experience. I will say, like, when I did Florida a few times, some of the Florida people I've met, they interact with me on Instagram and stuff like that more than anyone. And I just don't know if because they're scared to go outside in Florida. They're scared of other people from Florida, and so they stay at their computer. But I get a lot of interactions with people from Florida compared to other places.
Florida, we love you, but I just have to be... I mean, listen.
Florida is...
We have to be honest. You know that you're fucked up.
Well, yeah. They also, here's the thing. We're from Texas. We have nothing we can really say about this. But the only place we can say that at least we're not is Florida.
Yeah, Florida. And Florida,
the only place that they say at least we're not is Texas, and that's fine. We need each other.
They can take a joke. They get it. Florida, you get it. Yeah. It's fine. But it was weird, and like I just realized how old I am. Like I can't keep up with the all-day festival.
How old are you?
We're the same age. You graduated in 08? From 04 from high school. 04 from high school. 04.
85 is when I was born.
86.
Okay, so all right.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same age.
Yeah. I can't keep up. I also had a really humiliating experience going to so we're at this festival all day and then keep it going at night. Everybody's blotto, not sober at all. And we go stand in line. I don't want to stand in lines anymore. I feel too old for that. Get up to the front. And
plus it's hot in Florida, right? Or was it? No?
It was actually beautiful weather. It wasn't hot this weekend, but so we stand in line. Some of our group was already in there, and I was texting with friends saying they said it would be $20. I have $20 in cash. So I'm like, all right, I'll give the bouncer $20 so I don't have to wait in this line. We go up to the front, and my one drunk friend is like, he says $40. The bouncer is like, it's going to be $40 to get in. And my drunk friend was like, but we're girls, we're cute. It's going to be $20, right? We'll give you $20. And he didn't give a shit. He was like, old ladies, get to the back of the line. It was an ego. It was an ego crusher. I kind of loved it too.
I don't like your friend based off.
Listen, she was wasted.
Is she the dead-eyed woman?
let's not get into let's not get into
So
specifics.
this is the dead-eyed bitch, the dead-eyed drunk bitch that you hung out with in Florida.
She is a sweet, sweet girl, but
Yeah.
used to getting what she wants, and it was humiliating. And I was just like, I was trying to pull her away.
She sounds hot.
But yeah, but we're like, there are 20-year-olds there.
Yeah. Ugh.
We need to get in the back of the line. He didn't give two shits, and my ego is just like is just like twisting the knife.
That's
but,
a crusher.
Yeah.
I don't quite get that. Obviously, I've never been let into anything.
Stop it.
No, I get into things actually. You'd be surprised I get around. I should rephrase that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I can get into things. But I just lost but now the thing that bothers me is I get ID'd. I mean, I don't get ID'd, and all my other friends are still getting ID'd, and that bothers me. That's my equivalent to that. Is that like people my same fucking age, sometimes older, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, this guy's older than me. Why are you carding him? And they're like, you're good, fatty. Go inside. That's how it feels.
I never get carded ever. I mean, granted, I will. Like, my one hope is that it's just because I go to the same 5 places.
Yeah.
And they know me, but also I just never get ID'd.
Yeah.
It's sad. This has gotten
no, we're old.
We're old.
We're going to die soon. Yeah. We are old. Adult diapers. We're dying here.
We're hurtling towards oblivion.
We got some voicemails. Most of them were trash.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't listened to this one yet. This is the only one that has hope. Most of them, I don't think you guys quite understand. So call in if you got a problem you need solving. Not if you want to know what the best open mic is or what what our favorite rapper is. These are bad questions. This is for advice. We're trying to help you out and also, really take what you're going through and make it about us. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And so we have a voicemail. I don't know who it's from. I'm very excited about it because I have not listened to it. It's 1.5 minutes.
This is new. We're both hearing this for the first
very
time.
First time. Let's listen to this and we'll go from there.
Hi guys. I figured I would call in about my weird mess that I had the other night. So my friend and I went dancing the other day, and she's bisexual and has made comments in the past about being interested in me, but I am currently hung up on my ex. And I made a joke about how I would be her pretend girlfriend if someone got awkward with her when we were out. So while we were out, everyone was telling her how hot she was, and I was just there. And we posted some photos of the two of us dancing that my ex-boyfriend replied to at one point, but I'll get into that later. And at one point while we were dancing, she was kissing the back of my head, and it was weird for me because I didn't want that. I distanced myself. It kept happening. Then my ex-boyfriend started following her on Instagram and sent me a message about how gorgeous she was after he'd been flirting with me the week before. And it was weird. And he deleted the messages the next morning and doesn't know that I have seen them. And she tried to get me to yell at them because she has also seen the screenshots I took of the messages. I don't want to fuck either of them. So that's a weird place. Have fun with that.
See, that's what we want. That is perfect. Hold on. Wow, that's a lot to unpack there. That's a lot to unpack there. I also, anonymous, does make me, since we're the only ones who post it, didn't your brain not go, I wonder who this is?
I was, definitely thinking if I recognize the voice. I genuinely did not.
I have no idea. I have a couple people I thought it could be, but then I think it all lost towards the end. But wow, that is a lot to unpack, and I think some of that can be on you.
Yeah, one thing that stood out to me of being on her is that, I mean, consent, if someone is awkwardly kissing the back of your head and you don't want them to, let them know right away. Set the
Yeah.
boundary. Also, that is the most awkward. I'm trying to envision that. Kissing the back of someone's head.
How are y'all dancing?
Yeah, I
You
don't
know?
understand.
That's some like 90s dancing. Was like she rubbing the ass onto you, or you were rubbing your
But,
ass
like-
onto her. Like why was it back of the neck? She did say back of the neck, right?
She said back of the head.
I
Back
actually
of the
get
head.
grinding where you're like
But back of the head kiss is
But
a
the-
little weird.
That threw me off a lot.
Yeah, it's like that is so like grinding on the dance floor with your ass in someone, like grinding your ass into someone. Totally get it. That's what you do when you go out dancing. But
That's what you did in the 90s when you go out dancing, just so
all right,
you know, and early 2000s.
Some of us are old.
Yes,
We've discussed
I
it.
did that. It's a lot of fun,
But
that's not. They
that's
haven't
like-
danced like that since 2008.
Okay, but that is like sexy fun, and it just doesn't go along with the like sweet, tender intimacy of gently kissing someone on the back of the head. I don't understand the actual.
Got to be honest, kissing someone on the back of the head has never really crossed my mind.
I mean, the neck. Maybe she
I
meant
kissed my
neck.
kid on the back of the head, like, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Maybe she meant neck. I don't know. Neck is
She
great.
did say back of the neck.
Neck is an underrated.
Head or neck?
I swear I heard head, and that's why I was really confused.
Yeah, head is strange.
Did you hear head?
I heard head, but I will just put out there to men generally that the neck is like an underrated, underserved part of the body, and focus on it.
Everyone
But yeah,
loves the neck.
back of the head is strange. What?
Everyone loves kissing a neck.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes it's overlooked. People are so wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Now there's porn. Everyone's overstimulated. Focus on the neck a little.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Listen, I'm a neck guy. I like necks.
I'm a neck
Yeah,
guy.
vampire. That's me.
I say
I
bring
really
back the
am
back
not.
of the head, man. It's widely overlooked.
Back of the head's a bit weird. I will agree with that. I think it was back of the neck, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, that is something we're fixated on and totally not the issue.
It isn't.
The issue is honestly what's kind of what we talked about earlier is just growing up and standing up for yourself a little bit, because she's obviously pursuing you. And I think the worst thing you kind of gave her, like, what is it, carte blanche? Is that a word? That's
Carte blanche, yeah.
You gave her that kind of, unfortunately, when you go, oh, well, I'll just pretend to be your girlfriend. And so then it kind of opened up like, we're just pretending. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's a
Like,
little
that's
bit-
the problem.
It was manipulative of her to come up with that idea, but it's idiotic of you to go along with it. You know
Yeah.
what you're doing. I think, and I am guilty of this, so I get it, but I think that you kind of like the attention of your ex messaging you and this hot girl who everybody's paying attention to
Kinda backfired.
wanting you. So I think that you're kind of playing into it a little bit. And you kind of like it.
I could be wrong, but I think the ex was shooting for a threesome, right? Were you not feeling
For
that?
sure, but the ex doesn't matter. She just likes the
For
attention
sure.
from the
The
ex.
The ex technically did nothing wrong. However, he technically did nothing wrong. Was it a little sleazy to message your ex-girlfriend and be like, "Yeah, girl, you're hanging out with is so hot"? Yeah, that's pretty sleazy.
The ex is
But
a
I don't know
creep.
their relationship. She says she doesn't want to fuck either one of them, so I'm assuming she's not fucking either one of them. But I wouldn't be surprised, and I would love a follow-up, but I would not be surprised if she recently fucked her ex.
Girl, listen.
You don't think so? Because why would he feel so comfortable to say, "Hey, that's a hot bitch you're with"?
I don't know. I need to know like how long they were together. Does she still feel love for him? Are they still friends? Or if
The voicemail
she's-
was already a minute and a half.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
already a lot.
I will just say I don't want to judge her too much, but girl, you're loving creating this drama is what it feels like. No judgment, I get it. You like the attention, but I think you need to set boundaries with your ex. You need to set boundaries with this friend and, let them both move on and be with other people that aren't you.
Yeah, if you're not interested, you just got to tell them. That's the
Rip
hardest
the
thing.
Band-Aid.
it's hard to reject anybody always. I've made out with someone just because I was like, I didn't want to tell them no, I felt bad.
It doesn't have to be a rejection.
Which sounds awful on me, but
I feel like if you're honest with people, they appreciate it. And like, also you can put it in a tender way, like give a compliment. I don't know. Maybe men have a different perspective on this and they think like, oh, give a compliment. That doesn't, who cares? But like, if you're sweet to her, you know, say something nice about her. Clearly a bunch of people were saying she was attractive. It sounds like she can get it elsewhere. Say you don't want to ruin
plus she's not a lesbian, she's bisexual.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Hey, say you don't want to ruin the friendship.
But in the night, it's not like a bunch of guys were hitting on her and she's like, I hate guys. I only like you.
I will say, do you think it's hard to come back to friendship after someone has admitted they want to have sex?
I've had sex with multiple friends, so.
Yeah, but you just like, did you ever not have sex with a friend but broach the subject of having sex? And then you had to walk it back when they were like, ugh.
No.
Okay.
That's never happened to me, but I'm sure that's happened to a fucking billion dudes. And maybe it has happened to me. If it has happened to me, if I hit on you and when we were just friends and said, I really want to have a thing, and then you were like, no, I'm not interested, and we're friends now, please let me know that I forgot about this. But no, I don't think
Call in, leave a voicemail.
It won't make it to the air because I screen them. But no, I don't think that it's ever happened to me. I think I've always had a pretty good awareness of it. I will say, I hung out with a best friend, right? We were very close for a long time. Still consider her one of my best friends. She just lived somewhere else. She just moved back to Houston, but we don't really hang out anymore. But this is years ago. And we came home we went out drinking. We came home from the bar one night. It was just us two. I think we were both kind of in a sad place maybe. And we just got to talking and they were like, you want to make out? And then we made out and we hooked up that night, right? And in the morning, like, I don't know if we were both still drunk or like kind of like riding a high of like having good sex and waking up in the morning together and not being alone, which is always a good feeling. And in the morning, we just started talking about like dating people, all the different things. And then we both were like, we get along so well. We're attracted to each other. Why don't we just date? And we both agreed that moment. We're like, we're going to date. We're dating now. And then we like I was like, you want to be my girlfriend? She's like, I'd love to. And then we kissed. We hooked up again. We ordered Chinese
that is so
food.
Sweet. I'm like,
I know, we ordered Chinese food
over here.
We spent the entire day together. At like 9 p.m., she's like, I got to go home. And I was like, yeah, go home. Kissed her goodbye. She's driving home. We both texted each other on the way home. We're like, this feels weird, huh? It's just we broke up. Right,
it was
there.
Like the heat of the like post-sex moment.
I still think fondly of that day.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We watched movies all day long. We ate Chinese food. We nurtured each other's hangovers. We made out. We filled a moment in our lives where we were both kind of sad, and it was really nice, I think.
I think that can be great, but it doesn't sound like that's what this girl wants at all.
No, this is unrelated.
I will say I did have that friend all throughout high school that was like a makeout buddy. Love him, still love him. Shout out to you. You know who you are.
Does your husband know him?
You know, yeah, he does actually.
Does he know that you guys are makeup buddies?
Yeah. He because it got to the point. I'm a late bloomer. I lost my virginity when I was 19, and I was like, so we never dated.
It's actually not that late, I don't think. I mean,
I think
it's later than me.
I think it's late. Well, I also had like a first boyfriend who technically, yeah, it's complicated, but I was 19. Let's just say that. Maybe there was a close encounter prior to that. But I was 19 and I was like, okay, I love this man as a friend. We just aren't right for each other. We're not each other's type even, but he's a generally attractive dude. And I also know I wouldn't regret it. So we were on a trip to Vegas, a boys' trip for someone's birthday. But I was like in the group.
I'll ruin it.
And I'll ruin it. Yeah, honestly. I just want to be a part of everything. And we were literally at breakfast, at a breakfast buffet. And I was like, do you want to have sex tonight? And he was like, yes. And it was terrible.
It's your first time, of course.
It
it's gonna be
was,
bad.
yeah, it was terrible for me.
course.
But I think it was not great for him. I'm not special. I'm sure it wasn't great for him either. But they always say you're attached to your first person. I literally got up and I was like, all right, I'm going back to my room. It was not good. And I think there are those people in your life that are like, you love each other, but like, it's just not it. And she might love this friend of hers, but I feel like you can really mess things up or make things weird. I mean, I don't talk to this person anymore. Again, love him, great guy. But like if you keep, letting people kiss the back of your head when you're not into it,
Yeah.
you're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna fuck up the friendship.
That's true.
That was
'Cause then
very
they're gonna be
long-winded.
Like, you led me on. It's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hopefully they're not like that. But, I know guys can get like that. Where like, but you mostly see that in like 80s movies. Where like, why'd you look at me that way? Like that's usually, but I don't think now everyone's a little more open about consent and things like that, which is great. But that's why you should be more comfortable with saying that.
Which is great.
It is great. I know it sounded weird. You know what's where I've had this conversation many times about consent, consent is obviously it's a great thing. It's so good that we all talk about it now. But it does kind of fuck with like
it's a
romantic
mood
moment.
ruiner.
It does.
Listen,
my first kiss ever, I was on the porch of Stephanie Gronsky's house. I had just walked her home from school.
Shout out Stephanie.
Shout out to her brother, my best friend at the time, Brian.
That was weird.
Yeah. And so I walk her home, and I'm nervous as hell. I really like her. We're dating. I'm in love as a fifth or sixth grader could possibly be at the time. And we get to the porch, and she knows I'm going to ask her. She knows I'm going to try to kiss her because we've been talking about potentially kissing in notes for a week. And all her friends are like, are you going to kiss her? Are you going to kiss her? And I was like, I can't wait. And I'm also nervous as fuck, And so I'm so nervous,
feeling.
and I'm holding her hand, and I walk up to the porch with her, and she looks me in the face, and I look at her, and she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go inside. And I go, can I kiss you right now? And then she goes, you don't ask, stupid, and hits me. And then fucking walks inside, and I felt fucking defeated and cried like a little baby.
Stephanie.
And then I felt so stupid. And at the time, she was right, because it wasn't a thing you talked about. I was just ahead of my fucking time, maybe.
No.
That was the year fucking 98 probably, just so you know. And I'm asking women if it's okay if I kiss them upon their lips. That's pretty good for a 1998 time. Maybe 97. I think Titanic just came out. It was probably 97. So, Rose and Jack did not ask Rose if he could kiss.
Yeah, Stephanie, I think Stephanie had the right idea.
Yes.
You don't ask, like,
see, that's a tough thing to say out loud, though. You should ask. Now it's tough to be like, you're having a good time. Let's say you're making out with someone. You're like, you get to the room, you're in bed, you're making out, and you're like, okay, we're about to go to the next level. And then there should be an app or something like when you're near someone and you're like connected, you're hooking up, where there's a sign, like in a swingers bar or something like that. They have different color wristbands. They're like, I'm down with everything. I'm down with this.
Scientists need to go to a lab.
Way we could let each other know without having to say it out loud, because I've felt dumb being like, may I enter you now? I've never said that, but I'm going to try it next time. That's a funny way to say it.
Maybe don't.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you advice. I feel like, what happened to like throwing someone up against a wall? I mean, I don't know. It's very like, I feel like when you get the vibe, I feel bad for men. I feel bad for men because there's no winning.
We don't even have yet.
There's no winning. No, we're not. We're gaining listeners because some women can relate. I think that you absolutely have to have consent, but sometimes it's okay if consent is
unspoken.
Am I allowed to say this?
No, I know what you're saying, but here's where that falls apart. Is that there are plenty of people, I feel like I'm one of them. I feel like there's a ton of people, most people can pick up the vibe. They can tell what's going on between the person you're talking to. However, there's these fucking Asperger weirdos and these computer dorks, and now I feel like I'm picking on people. I don't mean incels. That's the word I was going for. And now I'm just like picking on the unfortunate. That's not what I meant. I'm sorry. But there are like the incels or the people that got homeschooled that don't understand this, and then they're like, "This is a hot girl. I like her. I'm going to kiss her." And even though she's given me no signs, she never touched my leg. She never touched my hand, because girls and guys, everyone gives you signs, that you're into somebody, whether it be like when they're whether a guy puts their hand on the swole of your back, like, while you're like pulling out a chair or something. There's these little touches, these little indicators that don't say, "Hey, I want to have sex with you," but it says like, "Hey, I like you and I have this going for you," and you get the mood going. And so
here's where
where it gets tough, because there's too many people that fuck it up for everybody else. So that's why you must ask. And I still think it's a good thing to ask, although it's not as romantic. But okay, it'd be great when it's in movies and like there's a hot sex scene and they're like, "Can we fuck now?" or whatever.
Yeah. Can you sign this document?
Can you sign?
I
sent you a PDF.
I feel like maybe I don't want to, also I just have to be me. I don't want to upset people, but like, I also think that I'm biased because I'm that person who, when they do something I'm uncomfortable, when someone has done something I'm uncomfortable with, in a millisecond, I react like a,
like a old shrew.
Exactly. I am a cunt and a half immediately. Like so I let someone know. That being said, I'm very nice when someone just shoots their shot in a respectful way, like comes up to me at a bar, doesn't realize I'm married, whatever, tries to buy me a drink. Then you
already told me that.
I'm very, very nice.
You're just like, "Oh my God, what?"
Stop it.
No, thank you.
I'm like, I will say, I am so flattered. I think men have so much onuses on them to like be the aggressor, and I feel like empathy for that. I think that that's like it's a tough situation to be in. So I usually try to be like, "Yay, it's not for me, but like go out there and get someone else. Go get him, tiger." I try to be nice about it. But yeah, I want to be thrown up against a wall, but I also will tell someone if they do something immediately. So I think maybe I'm biased for like more shy women.
The wall thing, which can be hot, don't get me wrong, but also that just makes it sound so much worse.
Is it? Does it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I want to be thrown up against the wall. You're like, well, that's how a lot of bad things I feel like really happen. So I don't know if that's the same.
I know. I shouldn't say it, but like, are you supposed to sit down at a table and like fill out?
No. Obviously, we got to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
And it would be great if we could keep some sexy involved.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the goal, I think.
We're all just trying to figure it out.
In all of this, I think that's the goal, is to find a middle ground where we can still have the sexy times and everyone be happy about it, But this situation, she's not happy about it. She wants to fuck neither one of them. Stop fucking them if you have at all. Just let this lady know you gotta go. Well, don't tell her she's got to go. Just be like, "Hey, it's not my thing." Maybe she never mentioned that she's bisexual at all. So that's the easiest out. Be like, "Hey, I'm just not into women." If that's your thing.
Or
just say it anyways.
It sounds like you love this person as a friend, don't want to ruin the friendship, and you aren't attracted to them as a person. So like,
have sex with her.
No, so have sex with your friend.
No.
No, don't. You don't want it. Although I do think you're right. I think she's like, we were talking about how she's like playing into the attention aspect of it. You got to stop doing that. I know it feels good, but you got to stop doing it.
Yeah, I think we solved your problem. I could be wrong. we talked about way other problems. Way
Lo-
more
I'm
other
very.
things,
We've figured
but
out that I'm very problematic.
She is
Mm-hmm.
more problematic than me. Going to point that out throughout the history of this show.
We'll get back to you sooner or later.
And then, yeah. No, I got all the problems. But, yeah. Ditch both of them. Let them know threesome's not happening. And then move on. And I think that's what we got for you. Well, we solved her problem. We want you guys to call us back and give us more of your problems. The number is right here. Perfect time. See, I don't know the number, so
I totally meant to write it down, so we just
I know.
so we
We'll
could-
remember
you
to do
know,
that.
read
These
it.
are all things. We're
Dang.
new. This is very DIY.
We're working out the
doing it
kinks.
ourselves.
We're a mess.
We've got an Instagram now.
Yes, it is at the Mess Hall Pod on Instagram. So you can send us messages to that as well. Yeah, at the Mess Hall Pod, and we'll put fun stuff.
That's great. Oh, you know what? I got a show at U of H March 8th. I am headlining. This room is 400 people big. So please come out because the poor promoter is going to get his ass handed to him. And I tried to warn him. So please, I don't want to be in an empty room. So it'd be cool if anyone who listened to this game, that would be awesome. And then
yeah.
my Instagrams and all that is at No Youngblood as always.
Yep, same. Just follow me on Instagram. I post everything there at the Jamie Rowan. I'm just gonna spell it TheJamieRowan.
Look at that. And we got our second podcast on the books. Very exciting. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope, Jamie, I hope you're enjoying it still. Sorry, lady. Leave them both.
Leave them both.
Yeah. All right.